Hey, buddy. I got a couple of comments for you. First, I mean, I'm not a well-known atheist on the YouTubes or anything like that, so I certainly don't speak for anybody else but myself. I have a few different points for you. First of all, we don't have a church because we ourselves feel the way we do individually about different issues that come up. I mean, you can still be an atheist and be anti-abortion. That doesn't. Those two things don't go together. Being atheist and being pro-abortion don't necessarily go together. Um, Two, we are that statement. First of all, isn't wicked because that's just how he feels. If you say that his feelings are wicked, you obviously aren't open to anybody else's opinion but your own. So before you go and crucify somebody for their opinion, you should look within and say, "Am I being open to everybody's opinion? Whether you feel it's valid or not, you have to be open to it. Being being open to somebody's opinion is the first step in seeing the other person's side. And if you're going to be like, well, he's obviously wrong because he's anti-abortion or he's pro-abortion, you have to be open to other people's opinions. You can't close yourself off like that. Number three, um, we we don't put people like Richard Dawkins as our god or anything. He just happens to be a great source of knowledge in opposing religious views. We don't consider him a god by any means. We feel that his views on things may or may not be correct depending on that atheist's opinion about different things. But he is a beacon of hope for us atheists who feel that we're being oppressed by the majority of Christians or the majority of the country that they live in. Whether because considering that I live in the U.S. as an atheist, I feel somewhat overwhelmed by the amount of Christians that live in my country, and it hurts to see their legislation in their views put through as legislation by law. Personally, I'm glad that many states are pro-abortion at this point, and I hope that many other politicians come to see that even though they may or may not be pro-abortion, I would say most Americans are pro-abortion. I don't have any facts to back that particular point up, but I would say that most Americans are pro-abortion. At least in the first trimester. I wouldn't say that most are for late term abortions. I would say that a good amount are pro-abortion in general. At least in the first term or the first trimester. I'm sorry. So those are my points against what you were saying. There's many more, but I can't think of them on the top of my head. So that's my response to